All right, the entire wizarding world is absolutely buzzing right now, and it's all because of one little clip. A clip that might have just blown the lid off one of the biggest secrets in television. Who is going to be our next Lord Voldemort? So let's get into it. We're going to break down exactly what was said, what it could possibly mean, and should we even believe it? Okay, so let's dive right in. It all kicks off with this tiny little quote from the original Dark Lord himself, the one and only Ralph Fiennes. I mean, on the surface, it seems like nothing, right? Just a casual comment, but oh boy, it has started an absolute firestorm online. So that's the big question, isn't it? Was this a real, genuine leak from somebody who's actually in the know? Or was it just, an offhand remark that we're all reading way too much into? Well, that's exactly what we're going to try and figure out together. Okay, so first things first, we have to break down exactly what was said. And listen, the context here is absolutely everything, because this whole exchange, it happened so fast you could blink and miss it. So picture this. An interviewer asks Ralph Fiennes a pretty standard question, right? Hey, who do you think should fill your shoes as Voldemort? But instead of just naming some actor he likes, Fiennes gives this answer that, well, it sounds like he thinks the decision has already been made. Now, you have to look at the sequence of what he says. First, he kind of hints that the role is already cast. Then, when the interviewer presses him a little, he drops Cillian Murphy's name. And here's the real kicker, the part that got everyone talking. He immediately tries to walk it back, saying, I shouldn't have said that. Whoa. I mean, that last part, that's what makes this whole thing feel less like speculation and more like a genuine slip-up. And that brings us to the first big theory here, that this was a real leak. And honestly, there are some pretty compelling reasons to think it might be true. So we've got to ask ourselves, right, is Ralph Fiennes just repeating the same popular fan cast that you and I have seen all over the internet? Or does he have some kind of insider knowledge? Is he in a position to know something that the rest of us just don't? And you have to remember who we're talking about here. This is a really crucial point. This is not just some random actor. This is Ralph Fiennes. He was Voldemort for an entire generation. His connection to that role, to this franchise, it's deep. So it's pretty unlikely he's just a casual observer, Think about it. In Hollywood, it's actually pretty common for studios to keep legacy actors like him in the loop, out of courtesy. Sometimes they even ask for their opinion on who should take over the role. And with HBO being so incredibly tight-lipped about all the casting for this series, any little whisper from a potential insider like Fiennes, man, that carries so much more weight than your average rumor. But just when you start thinking, okay, this has to be a leak, bam, a huge piece of evidence pops up that throws this whole theory into question, and it comes directly from the guy Fiennes just named. See, here's the problem. Cillian Murphy himself talked about this exact rumor months before this clip of Fiennes even came out, and the timeline here is absolutely critical if we're going to get to the bottom of this mystery. So go back to September. Cillian Murphy is doing an interview, and someone asks him straight up about playing Voldemort. His answer? It seemed pretty clear-cut, honestly. He said there was, and I quote, no truth to all the speculation he was seeing online. And look, it wasn't just a quick no. His denial was pretty detailed. He didn't just brush it off. He called Ralph Fiennes an absolute acting legend. He wished good luck to whoever does get the part. And he even threw in a little joke about being quite attached to his nose. It felt like a really classy, total shutdown of the rumor. But let's be real. This is Hollywood. We've seen this play out before, right? Actors have to deny being cast in big roles all the time. And then weeks later, boom, the official announcement comes out. It's often just part of the deal. So that's where we're at. We have what really looks like a genuine slip-up from the OG Voldemort on one hand, and a direct public denial from the guy he named on the other. How on earth do you make sense of that? So let's lay it all out. In one corner, you've got Ralph Fiennes' insider status, plus that really convincing, oops, I shouldn't have said that moment. But in the other corner, you have Cillian Murphy's very direct, very public denial, and the very real possibility that Fiennes was just, repeating a rumor he saw online just like the rest of us. Okay, let's play devil's advocate for a second. Let's just assume Fiennes' comment was based on something real. If that's true, then there are really only two logical possibilities. Possibility one, Cillian Murphy was telling the absolute truth back in September and he got cast in the role after that interview. Or possibility two,
And this one feels a little more likely he was already in talks or maybe even had the part, but was under a super strict NDA and literally couldn't say a word about it.
So what does this all mean? Where does this leave us? Well, we're stuck with a fantastic Hollywood mystery on our hands. Was this just a simple mistake, an actor getting caught up in a rumor he heard? Or did we just get our very first accidental glimpse of the next Dark Lord? For now, I guess only the folks at HBO know the real answer. We're all just gonna have to wait and see.